That's a pretty close match.
This could be a fantastic car for a beginner driver. Now, I know that sounds crazy, and while normally I'd never recommend a performance vehicle in that way, hear me out. I'm Chris from AutoAcademics, and this is a 2024 Nissan Z Performance MT. Now, obviously, there are plenty of reasons why I wouldn't recommend a car like this for a new driver. The most obvious reason is it's powerful and can get you in real trouble if you don't know what to do.
This Z has a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 engine that makes 400 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, that's great for a 0 to 60 mile per hour time of 4.5 seconds, a quarter mile time of 13 seconds flat at 111 miles per hour, and a limited top speed of 155 miles per hour. But all that will just get you hurt if you don't know what you're doing.
The next reason why it wouldn't be good for a new driver is because it has performance parts on it that wear out faster, and if they break, they'll be more expensive to replace.
The wheels are 19-inch raised super lightweight forged alloy wrapped in 255/40 series front and 275/35 series rear Bridgestone Potenza S007 high performance summer tires. They look great, but you hit a curb and it'll cost you quite a bit to get them fixed. Plus, these tires won't last that long, so they'll be pricey to replace too.
Now that we're inside, the cool exterior design is appealing to many people, but the interior has plenty of blind spots, and the low seating position does not allow for good visibility, which is something that all new drivers should have plenty of. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like the Z, and if you're an experienced driver, then by all means buy one. It just wouldn't be responsible for a beginner to have one. But with all that being said, there is one thing that would make this a fantastic car for a beginner driver. The fact that it has a manual transmission. New drivers don't know how to drive them, and frankly, a lot of old drivers don't either. If I'm being honest, most people don't want to learn how to drive them anyway because they're a dying breed. And for those who do want to learn how to drive them, well, it's pretty difficult because, again, they're a dying breed. You guys know I get new cars all the time, and if 3 to 5 of them have a stick shift, well, that's something special. And even though this Z Performance has a high-performance clutch in it, it's still light enough and user-friendly enough for a beginner to learn on. That can't be said about a lot of performance cars. Now, for those of you who already know how to drive stick, let us know in the comments section below, because you also know that starting from a stop is one of the hardest parts. Fortunately, this Z has enough torque that makes that process a bit easier for beginners. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details of driving a manual transmission, but it involves a balance between clutch engagement and enough power from the drivetrain to make the car move. Higher powered cars with more torque like this Z can engage the clutch and get the car moving without stalling just by gently releasing the clutch. Watch, as I slowly release the clutch, you'll notice the revs of the engine begin to drop as the clutch engages. This is basically the weight of the car fighting against the friction of the clutch and powertrain. But with a gentle application, the 350 pound-feet of torque will get the car rolling without stalling. In turn, this would allow new drivers to get used to the friction point of a manual transmission without stalling as easily. Now, of course, if you dump the clutch, the car will stall. And if you're going up a hill, you need to add more gas to engage the clutch too, because gravity will want the car to go backwards down the hill as opposed to forwards up it. But that's with any manual transmission, and it's something you'll have to learn how to control no matter what kind of stick shift vehicle it is. Now, I know some of you are saying you'd never allow a new driver to learn on a new car like this. I get it. I wouldn't want to teach someone that I didn't personally know and love how to drive stick on this car if I owned it. And obviously, if you have an older vehicle with a manual transmission, that would be best, no matter what the torque rating is. But because they're becoming rarer and rarer each year, you may have to learn or teach somebody on whatever you can get your hands on. So, as I wrap this up, no, I wouldn't truly recommend this Z or any other performance car as a first car for a new driver. But that is the one thing that this manual transmission Z has going for it if a new driver has access to it. And that's not something I can say about most other cars, performance or otherwise. If you're interested in watching our full review of the manual transmission Z, the automatic version of the Z, or even the Z Nismo, I'll leave a link in the description below. As always, if you like this video, if you found it informational or educational or entertaining, go ahead and hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, as well as hit that bell notification so you don't miss what we have coming up next. I'm Chris from AutoAcademics. Thanks for watching.